Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of the Fine Wine Wednesday podcast. Today, I have my friend Ravi Bassi here.
How's it going, everyone?
And if you don't know, there's been a crisis in the Okanagan related to cherries and soft fruit. And I thought my friend here, his family's local growers, it'd be great to speak on the topic.
Yeah, so this year, we've had a lot of issues, more than normal, just pertaining to, COVID, and on top of that, just the weather issues all
How has
year long.
COVID impacted farms?
COVID for farming, it's labor shortages mostly. Labor shortages have definitely hit us, and on top of that, just a lot of protocols, more protocols that we have to follow. We already have to do all the food safety audits and all that, and just more things for the farmer to have to do, which we feel like over the years, the onus has been put on the farmer for everything. It's not as easy as it used to be anymore.
Yeah, because a lot of the workers in the Okanagan and the farms are not actually from here. They come from outside, and they come here out east, even from other countries like South America.
Yeah. So we have our temporary foreign workers, which we go through the program for. They come from Mexico and Jamaica. And, once in March when the COVID came full blast, it was really tough to get our workers over because no flights were coming. And everyone's kind of uncertain, will our workers be coming? How many will be coming? And it was tough. So, there's a few week period where all the farmers were kind of, lost and looking for direction.
But thankfully this year, the government programs, when they quarantined the workers, the government paid for the food and the housing for the workers, correct?
Yeah, they did. So they paid for the food and the lodging, but the employer had to pay 2 weeks' wages.
Oh.
So the 14 days that they were quarantined, I think there was 40 hours a week. Don't quote me on that, but something like that, we had to pay them per week, and then that's it. And there is a program where you can apply to get that money back, where we have applied, but we haven't heard anything back yet. So we'll see how that goes. But we're just glad to have our workers here. Even with the 14-day quarantine period, have them here, have them healthy, and have some help.
If any farmer ever has questions in the Okanagan, I'm sure to pass it on to Ravi as well.
For sure.
Okanagan has a good sense of community with helping each other as farmers.
Yeah, definitely. We saw that, even with the short-term labor that comes from out east, specifically Quebec. This year there was, a lot less than usual. So we noticed that sense of community this year when, we had a shortage of workers, I'd call someone else, and because the varieties are different. So in Asoyas, some of the pickers started first. So some of my friends who finished in Asoyas, they were able to send people that were picking there, they were able to send them to me. And just that sense of community is just awesome, man. Anything you need, you need an extra couple ladders or anything, no one hesitates to lend a helping hand. And that's definitely going to be very helpful in a year like this.
No, it's good. Okanagan's strong. We stick together.
Yeah, definitely.
And also on that note, I'd love to try some of the 2019 Unoak Chardonnay. It's from their Peachland farm.
Oh, nice.
For some of this. They also just came out with a Pinot Gris. It's their first boxed wine. Be sure to go try that at Gold Hill Winery.
Definitely. They're always coming up with new stuff.
Yeah, but also you touched on the weather being an issue.
Yeah, this year the weather was exceptionally bad. First we were hit with the frost during blossom time. That, for some farmers, that was it. They didn't even see a crop after that. We were a little bit more fortunate. We still had a crop. We salvaged the crop. And then that got wiped out. Well, not fully wiped out, that got hit by the rain. And, the rain this year was just on and off. Every 2 days it felt like it was about to rain. Thank you. Cheers. Gold Hill? So the rain this year was just, it was bad. It was, so what the rain does, it causes cherries to split. Because they're already, when they're at that stage when they're ready to pick, they are, they're full of water, they're full of sugars, they're ready, and then the rain comes and the cherries absorb more water than they need, and then that causes the skin to split. And now when the skin splits, no one else wins it.
As a viewers, when you go to the grocery store, you're going to see perfect cherries. But to get perfect cherries, the farmer takes a big hit.
Yeah, especially on a year like this, you can see on the ground. I'd say while we were picking, we farm sorted around 40%. And then...
So you're already at a lower crop, and out of that lower crop, you still don't get it in.
We still don't get it all. We're still farm sorting. And then from what we sent to the house, they're going to sort again, and they're going to take another cut out of that.
Yeah, so the farmer does have a tough time.
Farmer does have a tough time, definitely, especially on a year like this when we're already doing so many other things, trying to figure out the protocol for the whole COVID thing. We're trying to have all the workers come while still maintaining safety, sanitization of everything. So it did add a lot onto the farmer's plate.
When you're a winery owner, your grapes, when you plant them, second or third year, you're going to get production.
Yeah.
But with cherries, that's not the case.
With cherries, that's not the case at all. With cherries, you won't start seeing, depending on the rootstock, the variety, the location, in general, 3 to 4 years until you start seeing any slightly significant amount of cherries, and up to 8 years until you see a full crop. And so these trees right here are around 10, 11 years old, and so they are at full crop, but it's a long game. You really gotta, punch out your numbers. And
at the beginning, when the tree is smaller, the weather's going to affect it more. The hill is going to damage it more. More sunlight as well. But when you have a big tree like this, that's when the cherry crop's finally safe.
Safe to a T, right? Because no matter how old the tree gets and how mature it is, it's still affected by the frost. It's still affected by the rain. It's not, it's not going to kill the tree as it might when it's younger, but it is going to affect the crop.
And this is pretty interesting. I think the viewers would like to know, how do you prevent the rain from damaging the crop?
So there's a few ways to do it. There's a few ways to do it from ground. A lot of people use blowers, which you mount to the back of the tractor. It's just a fan, it's a big fan, and you drive it through the rows, and it just blows wafts of air upwards and kind of blows the trees off. A lot of other farmers use just their sprayers, because the sprayers already have a fan on them, so you don't have to buy another piece of equipment. You just drive your sprayer through there empty without the nozzles on, and that blows air. Not as successfully as the blower, but still, it gets the job done. And the best way to do it is with a helicopter. So, a lot of big farmers usually, they'll bring a helicopter in, fly really low over the cherries, and just blast all that water out.
And again, when one farmer gets a helicopter, a lot of them pitch in together, am I right?
Yeah, that does happen for sure, especially if you have, neighboring property has cherries too. Say my neighbor's bringing a helicopter in, I'd split that hour with him and have half hour here, half hour there. A lot of people do that. Once again, the sense of community.
No, times like this, we really got to stick together.
Definitely. So,
yeah, and then also on that, this is a really good wine, I gotta say.
Yeah, this is.
Really good flavor.
I haven't tried their Chardonnay yet. I've had a chance to try a few of their other ones, but this is really good.
I think another point to go on, when you have a cherry tree and you don't have production for 4 years, you're paying the mortgage costs the whole time without seeing any income coming in.
Yeah.
That can be pretty tough for a farmer.
That definitely, it's a struggle, especially for new farmers. For older farmers, they're able to get land at reasonable prices. Reasonable compared to now, so it didn't hurt the wallet as much. But now, if you're going to buy a farm, 100 plus an acre, and then try to pay the mortgage on it for 4 years, not seeing any income, it's it takes some planning for sure.
I think it'd be tough for new farmers to get into the industry.
Definitely. At a time like this, the way things are going, the way prices are going, I feel like it's getting tougher and tougher for new farmers to get into the industry, and I feel like it's almost pushing away the next generation from taking over, right? Because we're kind of starting to see, there's so many struggles, so many this, and trying to figure out something else. But that would be unfortunate if this region was robbed of its ability to grow quality fruit. Just because I feel like nowhere else in Canada can you grow fruit like this. The Niagara region has a lot of apples out there. You have a lot of apples, but the peaches that we get here, the nectarines, the cherries, there's nowhere can get, from my opinion, nowhere can get this quality of fruit. So
I'm blessed to live here.
Yeah, plus living here, right? And now, we see the switch going to grapes. Everyone's going to grapes. No one wants soft fruit farms. Everyone's going to grapes. And there's a worry in there too, if everyone switches to grapes, our area is going to be robbed of what it was known for, its quality fruit.
Would you see the price of the soft fruit go higher if there's less of it?
And that's what should happen. That's what we were hoping for, but so far that hasn't been the case. These last few years, apples last year was record-breaking lows. Some people received bills for those fruit instead of checks. Record-breaking losses for apples last year, and that's kind of the thought process. The more grapes we have, the less fruit we have, less supply, more demand. But for some reason, it just hasn't been looking like that. The cherry market's been pretty steady with exporting and all that. Some other soft fruit.
Have you seen an impact to fruit going to other countries because of coronavirus?
From my experience, we actually don't ship internationally. We ship through the house and through the middleman, they ship internationally. But from what I've heard, there hasn't been too much impact on shipping. The shipping's still going. It's just the volume has decreased exponentially just from our area, just with the frost damage. And on top of that, everything we're sorting. So there's not a lot of volume going, but they are still shipping internationally.
No, and as a farmer in my grapes, I would say in the last 10 years, I've only had one bad year where we barely broke even because of mildew. Mm-hmm. But as yourself, as a soft fruit farmer, there's a much worse comparison for those two numbers.
Yeah, definitely. So, I was talking to my dad about that too, and, I'd say every 3 to 4 years, you're going to have a bad year. Every 3 to 4 years, it's going to be, not going to be the greatest. But these last few years have been kind of in a row, like not the greatest, right? Like, you know, you still get the pick, you get it off, but they're not as good as they used to be. And part of it's just due to global warming, the weather pattern just changing so rapidly. We saw that last year too with
a lot of hail in the summer.
Yeah,
I gotta say.
Yeah, a lot of hail. It didn't get warm till so late this year. You know, it just kept raining and all that. So yeah, it's definitely an issue.
No, definitely like to say, if you're coming down to the Okanagan, please support local growers as they are having a hard time. Also, Gold Hill has released its first box wine. It's called Charisma, and it's a Pinot Gris. And Ravi, anything you'd like to end on?
No, nothing. As you said, you know, we should try to support local growers as much as we can. You go to the supermarkets and, you know, you see a lot of these cherries are imported from other places. You know, the price might be a little higher if you're shopping locally, but, you know, we got to support this economy. I've seen a lot of traffic at the wineries, a lot of people going there, but we also need to, you know, we can't forget the food industry. We got to keep supporting the food industry for sure.
No, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me, man.
Thanks
really
for watching,
it.
everyone.
Have a good one.